game. You know what that's this game when you go to the bush, the forest to hunt for games, animals, and all that. And you can just kill anyone you want to kill, like, that's exactly how they are hunting Nigerians, selling them, exchanging them for money. The young ones are being, transferred across, Africa, selling them as slaves. There are those who are running organ harvesting, organ trafficking syndicate within this level of insecurity and kidnappings in that place. But the criminal politicians, they love to talk about it. But rather than fix it, they will monetize it. And that is why majority of them who have been in charge of fighting these terrorists in the last 12 years have ended up being multi-billionaires, while thousands of people have lost their lives. But they continue to give themselves pat on the back like they are doing so well. But videos like that tells a different story, or tell different stories. So they now have, people are reacting though. It's just that you probably should be adding it to another reason why your everyday, right, is a chance to possibly do something with others before you become the victim that you are reading about or hearing about yourself. Every day is an opportunity for everyone. The closer you are to the danger, the more alert you should be, rather than live in denial, pretense, and join every other unnecessary distraction, because this is an existential danger, threat, where until it comes close to home, you have no idea how exposed and vulnerable you are when it comes to your own security in Nigeria. So there's a group called the Anti-Cultist Group, right? Anti-Cultist Group, who released a statement earlier today. And they were, the guy who released the video seems to be like they are pissed how the government is handling this. It shouldn't, that kind of reactions, right? So in the video, this one.
Welcome to another edition of Anti-Cult Lessons in Nigeria. My name is Akin Okunowo. I am popularly known as Aluta. I am the national leader of anti-cult activities in Nigeria and also the general tutor of anti-cult lessons in Nigeria. The title of today's lesson is Stop Peace Deals with Bandits. Ladies and gentlemen, let's call a spade a spade. The Nigerian government at the federal, state, and local government levels are expected to be defending Nigerian citizens against criminal invaders and all terrorist groups attacking us in this country. They are supposed to bring the criminals to book and practically demonstrate that Nigerian government has zero tolerance for terrorism. But what is the government doing? The government has been granting terrorists questionable amnesty and freedom under the disguise of calling them repentant bandits. I want to ask, who counseled and certified them as repentant terrorists? We don't understand, and the government is not talking. Let's talk about the funny scenario, for example, where communities are abandoned by the government and they were frustrated to be signing peace deals with terrorists. For the first time in the history of fighting terrorism in Nigeria, it is when the terrorists who sign peace deals with the communities they are attacking now violate the peace accord that we see dramatic reports that says, let me quote, on receiving a distress, security forces were promptly mobilized to the scene. The area was cordoned off, and during the operation, one of the victims was rescued unhurt. What kind of report is that? It can never sound real by any analysis or interpretation, no matter how you want to paint such strange drama in Nigeria. No matter how you want to paint the drama, we are not in China or America that the security system are sophisticated for that matter. It happened on the 16th of September 2025 in Kankara local government area of Katsina State. Notorious bandits blocked Wawakaza Gai Road and abducted some passengers coming from Zaria going to Dusima. The report claimed that 3 students of the Federal University of Dusima were among the victims. That upon getting a distress call from the area, the Nigerian security forces swing into quick action and cordoned off the entire area. They were able to secure one of the 3 students and still making further efforts to rescue others. The remaining 2 students are females.
Crazy, yeah? So they condemn it. Like, why are you making deals with terrorists? Because the people are still going to be killed. Because terrorists have always come back to say the people violated the agreement. Sometimes they will accuse the communities of being informants for the Nigerian army. So they will just come in, kidnap some of them, women, children, kill the men, and then force them again to either flee or make another fresh deal. Like there are people who are basically like right now existing simply because of the mercy shown to them by terrorists. Nigeria has completely forgotten them. But when election is coming, on the day of election, the terrorists will just take a break. I don't know if you have noticed that. They will just take a break until days after the news will start all over again. And as for the politicians, like always, they always knew where the terrorists are. And in their conversation of trying to combat it, you'll be hearing kinetic, non-kinetic, kinetic, non-kinetic. The terrorists that are coming for peace are wielding warlike weapons. And these are a bunch of cowards, so that's the way I see it. If you ask them and say, what exactly are these guys fighting for? What exactly are they fighting for? There must be something, right? Nothing. Nothing that is legit. We have had different speculations and we have had some fact-backed evidence and the rest of that. But in all of it, it is either, now this is, what do you call it? Another theory, so to say, right? It is either the criminals in charge of Nigeria or the leadership of the Nigerian military and the rest of them are so incompetent, so corrupt, that the money they are going to make or making is so much important to them than the country that they swore to protect. And what do I mean by that? Even if the criminal politicians have become so compromised enough, you will be the first to know. Those of you who are losing your men being slaughtered by these terrorists, and the politicians are telling you kinetic, non-kinetic, and your orders are delayed while your men are facing fire. So if politicians have been using that pattern, and I mean, a non-corrupt military officer automatically would not put the lives of his army, of his soldiers on the line for criminal politicians' politics. So that's the idea. If, let's say, if those who are in government, the sponsor of the terrorists, are pulling the string in protecting them. Now, you that is not corrupt as a soldier, right? A general, we never fight war anyway, right? A general, and your men are being slaughtered by these ragtag terrorists. You are seeing videos of them making, and then you do know that the only reason why this is happening is because the politicians didn't want you to do your job. Or you still have to come out and tell everybody that you are doing your best, you are doing your job, when you know you are not. So a real soldier will either resign and tell everybody what's going on, or better still, get rid of the criminals who values God knows what their agendas are. than the lives of the people they swore to protect. Because right now, Nigerians' lives are being used for different agendas. The terrorists that you are looking at there, right? They have more immunity or believed to have more immunity than what many of you can even imagine. I mean, who goes to negotiate with Nigerian Army, DSS, NIA, DIA, SMA, SMP, all those funny, funny names, Sha, because they have so many security outfits. So many of them you don't even know exist. Now, their job is to prevent crime before they happen and to counter it if it's happening. Abi, all of them will go to a peace meeting with terrorists. They will disarm themselves. I've never seen anything like that in my life before. They have been doing that for years now, in case if you don't know. One of the famous guys who helped them to spread the idea of the Fulani terrorists, they are not terrorists. So Nigeria must listen to them. They must not use force to fight them. His name is Sheikh Osama bin Gumi. Sheikh Osama bin Gumi just posted a picture of his son, who has now graduated from the Nigeria Defense Academy. So right now, this one, okay, is going into the Nigerian Army, or is in Nigerian Army, and you don't probably need me to tell you more. That thing within your mind, use your hand to type them. I'm just giving you the snippets, right? So then the second one is, or the criminals in charge of governments in Nigeria, okay, they are intentionally allowing this to happen for only God knows reason. Remember, incompetence, corruption on the part of those who has been sent to the what do you call it, the meat grinder. Yeah, those who have been sent into the meat grinder, and somehow they have all the data, they have the number, and as soldiers, like it's either they are incompetent or their corruption is so deep enough that they have been blinded by them, right? That they didn't care that the country they are supposed to protect is completely gone off their grip, courtesy of this corrupt, system. I mean, take a look at them. They came for peace. Children were looking at them, possibly admiring them. They dressed in the military fatigues, military uniforms. You get what I mean? They were there flaunting all these weapons. And you ask yourself, who exactly are they fighting? What are they fighting for? What do you think an ordinary village person must have taken from these guys that they have to bring warlike machine guns like this, okay, to attack them? What do you think? These are the questions. And they call them, bandits. What kind of bandit is that? What do they have to steal? What do you think they want to steal from villagers? Villagers that are using cutlasses and hoes to till the land, cultivate their land in that state, and they are mostly contented, by the way. And then you come into their communities with these guns and you start killing them, abducting them, taking them away, demanding for ransoms from them. So what would they say they are actually asking for, fighting for? For land? Oh, they said, it's because the Fulanis, they were not given schools, they were not given, they said that they are poor and they needed places. I was like, what are you talking about? If you need a place to stay, you either rent it or you buy it. If everybody that is not benefiting from the healthcare, education, and what have you from government, every part or every tribe or ethnic nationality that is not benefiting, you begin to grab weapons, right? And begin to abduct other people, kill them from far land areas from yours. Do you think you're going to have a country? Now they are using them to beg, to kind of like blackmail the rest of us. Okay, what is the solution? What is, I said, first, tell us what they are fighting for. What exact, That should be the what a government should say, right? And say, well, hang on, what do they want? Because they have all the weapons of war. The government is thinking that, well, what they need is land. Here, these ones look like people who want farm to you. Do you think these ones are people who are ready to lead any cow in a ranch? Do they look like that? Like, oh, this one, it won't be man where they manage a ranch. Oh. Criminal politicians are using the problem to line their own pockets. Because the land, I was asking, I said, if they start building ranches for these terrorists, are they going to like name the ranches after them, like each leader of the terrorists? Let's assume that they have 100 groups, okay, and they decided to open ranches for them. Is that not what they are proposing? Eh? So let's say they decide to open ranches for them, and they give each leader a ranch, and each of them claim to have at least between 300 and 500 fighters. They are like army, like army, look, for real. So they will take these 500, put them on the ranch, or like this is for one fighter, one terror camp. So let's say you have 100 of them. 500 times 100. Wow. It's like 50,000, isn't it? Still not enough those that you can compare with the number of Nigerian army. Yeah. Don't worry. This is me doing my own, when your mind is kind of trying to want to understand something. Okay. Maybe if you relax and try to understand them first, why are they killing people? What exactly are they? Because these are people who have done nothing to them. Historically, we know that, well, they have the jihad, the killings, and the rest of that, right? But the government of Nigeria is not seeing it like that. So how are they seeing it? What exactly are they seeing? I mean, they are government, right? So they should know better. Okay. What could they be seeing? Are they seeing uh, human rights activists in it? Or I don't know what they will call them, but they are calling them bandits. So downplay the severity of their crime. Okay. So bandits. Right. Now, bandits are thieves. Bandits are those that will stop people on the road, steal from them. They don't steal human beings. Bandits don't kidnap. The moment you kidnap anyone, you have become a terrorist. And I think there are laws that also said that. Say, if you kidnap anybody, you have become a terrorist. But bandits are those that rob people, travelers. They steal from them and they do kill too. So if Nigerian government is treating them as ordinary petty thieves, despite all the display of all these weapons in the public glare, you get what I mean now? So, okay, what are you then offering them to stop stealing? And the government said, oh, the reason why you haven't, because they still call them farmers others clashes. So the reason why you're having these clashes is because the Fulanis need place to rear their cows. I said, but these ones don't have cows. So are you going to like ask them to give you their guns at least when you build them ranches? It doesn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense then. It doesn't now. And it will never make any sense. But here is the problem. You and I can sit down and be like, why can't they just, look at these guys, why can't they just wipe all of them off and this or that? Then criminal politicians will tell you, oh yeah, but it's not that easy. So what is not that easy? It's not that easy. There are some factors, there are some things that we cannot just do this or that. They will give you reasons and excuses why they can't do it. or they won't do it.